It's your boy A3B, and we are back today with some more Freshy Kanal. It's Doctor Strange versus Doctor Who. Now, I don't even have to stress how much I love Doctor Who, all right? I got a Doctor Who tattoo on my arm. It's an armband with Doctor Who on it. Doctor Strange, one of my favorite Marvel, he's not like top 5. He's probably top 10 though. We're gonna check this out. This is Doctor Strange versus Doctor Who by Freshy Kanal. Original video linked down below in the description. Rap battle featuring Connor Quest, Mr. Tibbs, and Zawesome. Let's check it. That's a very Doctor Who-like intro right there. The space-time continuum. Traveling with like the reverse wormhole effect, almost like a reverse dolly zoom. That's sick.
Doctor Strange!
Yes, sir.
The Doctor!
Okay.
So that's why my psychic paper keeps going missing. This phone is after it because it knows it passes Tony Stark but with no vision. Give up the...
Damn, okay, already. What's the double here? That's why my psychic paper, so Doctor Who, he has psychic paper. It's essentially like a mini slip of paper that acts as a badge to get him in wherever he needs to go. He's saying it's going missing because the phony's after it because he knows he'll pass as Tony Stark, calling Doctor Strange a knockoff Tony Stark, which was one of the biggest knocks against Doctor Strange when he debuted in the MCU.
Give up the act. That bad American accent could not be mended with magic. Strange, you look like the...
Did he have a bad American accent? I don't think he had a bad... There was certain things in that movie that I was like, this is ridiculous, but I don't think his accent was one of them.
No vision. Give up the act. That bad American accent could not be mended with magic. Strange, you look like the master if he mastered the art of chatting to fabric. My son...
You look like the master if he mastered the art of chatting to fabric. What's crazy, so the master is Doctor Who's like arch nemesis villain. The original master, but this man right here, that's pretty Doctor Strangey. He has like the same hair wisps. He has like the same popped collar.
The screwdriver has the mic box. You're a colonizer like the master.
Okay.
If he mastered the art of...
If he mastered the art of chatting to fabric, because his cape. Okay, the hand puppet was throwing me. I was like, does he talk to a sock? Wrestling fan. I was thinking Mr. Sacco.
Chatting to fabric. My son, a screwdriver has the mic box. You're a colonizer and need high dogs.
My sonic screwdriver has the mic locked. This is a reference. His sonic screwdriver. That's the tool he uses for literally everything. But doubling up with the Master Bar, he also used it when the Master debuted on New Who, he used the sonic screwdriver to lock the TARDIS in position so it could only travel back and forth to the end of the universe in the year like 2007 or whatever it was.
But the art of chatting to fab. My son, a screwdriver has the mic locked.
Has the mic locked. So I think that's a reference to that as well, but he's also saying like, my mic's locked in. Like, boy, I'm in my game right now.
You're a colonizer and need high dogs.
I mean, he wears tall-ish boots, but it's nothing crazy, right? Am I insane here? His boots just stop at his shin, but it's just a pair of boots. Calling them knee-high docs because they look like Doc Martens. And doc is short for doctor, so it serves as a double.
I know the ancient one was rocking makeshift rose, but they really didn't need a bloody whitewash.
Damn! Okay, that's a bar. That might be that's his first one that I'm like, shit. I know the ancient one is rocking makeshift robes, but they really didn't need a bloody whitewash. That's a solid way to serve a double, saying like, yeah, she's rocking ancient robes. Typically, you would expect them, yeah, if you're rocking ancient robes, you should probably make sure they're washed, they're clean. But he's saying they didn't need a whitewash because the ancient one in the comic books, the only reason I know about this because it was a whole controversy, was an old Asian male. And they turned it into a white woman for some reason.
You don't want to face a Time Lord in a rhyme war.
You don't want to, okay. You don't want to face a Time Lord in a rhyme war.
You don't want to face a Time Lord.
That's a solid internal. I like that. That's a really good flow.
You're minor to the Daleks.
You're minor to the Daleks that I fought. Minor, using that as Time Lord rhyme war. Minor. He's using double syllable internals. I really like that. That's his best flow by far so far.
To the Daleks that I fought, my TARDIS is like the Ferrari of time travel.
My TARDIS is like the Ferrari of time travel. TARDIS Ferrari of time travel. That is like some really good alliteration through there as well. It just flows so well through here.
My TARDIS is like the Ferrari.
I'm really liking this.
Those stones quite literally an eyesore.
Damn. That's pretty good. Your stone's quite literally an eyesore. The time stone, he holds it in that really shitty necklace that literally looks like a stone eye. Something out of fucking Mario 64. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, sports cars are a shaky topic. Right, course.
Whoa!
It's an accident. Let's hope it still lands well.
Holy shit! Okay, now he's cooking with something. Oh yeah, sports cards are a shaky topic because Doctor Strange crashed his sports car, and that's what led him down this whole journey, why he had to stop being a doctor. But also calling it a shaky topic because the effects, the long-term effects, the reason why he can't be a doctor anymore is because it's like ruined the nerve endings where his hands are always shaking. Hope it still lands well. His card did not.
Unlike yours. They're begging you to answer me this question because it's taking me a bit to understand it. How did the Avengers take a Thanos in a secondary battle when the only difference was the magician vanished?
Holy shit. Okay. He's going way too fast for me. Sherlock, I beg of you to answer me this question is a pretty funny line because Benedict Cumberbatch was also Sherlock before he was Doctor Strange, or maybe it was similar times. I don't really know the timeline well. However, that also serves back to one of his very first disses at the start of this battle because another famous actor who has played Sherlock is Robert Downey Jr., aka Tony Stark. So he's literally comparing them once again indirectly, which is pretty funny.
Answer me this question because it's taking me
a bit to understand it. How did the Avengers take on Thanos the secondary battle when the only difference was a magician vanished? You guys were pretty much guaranteed to lose when you were on the playing field. And he said the only way for them to win was when you were taken out of play.
No, let me ask you, Doctor. With no sling ring in sight, how do you cast those plot holes that are way bigger on the inside? So
damn. No sling ring in sight. That's how he opens the holes in time and space.
That are way bigger on the inside.
And the TARDIS, Dr. Ship, is famous for being bigger on the inside. It's Time Lord technology.
So take your kerfuffles, you soul.
Kerfuffles is amazing how he pronounced that word.
How do you cast those plot holes that are way bigger on the inside? So take your kerfuffles, you solve with loving hugs and MacGuffins and shut it.
Okay, and MacGuffin? We got a MacGuffin reference? Basically, a MacGuffin is something that you piece together. It's like a thingy-majig. It's something that there's no way to solve. Oh, a Deus Ex Machina, basically, but an object that serves as a Deus Ex Machina. Like, oh my gosh, there's no way we could possibly defeat this person, and the doctor's like, I made a toaster that makes toast in space and downloads comics from the future, and if I press this button, it stops the bad guys. That's a MacGuffin.
I haven't seen softer doctors since McStuffins. I'll tell you.
Okay, wild. Doctor Strange, I need you to come harder with this flow, though, I'll be honest. It took a while for David Tennant to hit some bars, but at least his flow is appealing. I'm not feeling this guy so far. I like Kerfuffles. Kerfuffles was pretty good.
With loving hugs and MacGuffins and shut it. I haven't seen softer doctors since McStuffins. I'll tell
Putting Doc McStuffins, it's a Doc McStuffins reference.
you something. I've looked in 14 million futures, but it didn't change because I don't need a time stone to know that you're the same in each iteration. This slimy time.
You're the same in each iteration.
But it didn't change because I don't need a time stone to know that you're the same in each iteration.
What the fuck is he trying to say here? I know he looked into 14,608,000 or whatever it was to see the battle with Thanos, but he's saying I don't need to do that because you're the same in each iteration because Doctor Who isn't very diverse. I don't know what that bar is trying to say. I really thought he was going to say, like, I'm going to beat you in each iteration. And that would have made sense and it would have been like, okay, yeah, it's a reference to this, that works. But saying you're the same in each iteration.
This slimy time travels and swoops a companion. Uses plot armor to save the whole planet till this man panics and leaves.
Uses plot armor to save the whole planet.
This slimy time travels and swoops a companion. Uses plot armor to save the whole planet till this man panics and leaves them abandoned. And then he gets damaged so they bring in a stand.
Limey time travels and swoops a companion, which is what he does. He travels around time, finds somebody, a human, typically, that he likes.
A companion. Uses plot armor to save.
He uses plot armor to save a whole planet. Plot armor. I like Doctor Who because I feel like a lot of the times he solves the problem with outside the box thinking that works. I don't think he uses plot armor a lot. Till this man panics and leaves them abandoned. And then he gets damaged, so they bring in a stand-in. Yeah, but that's kind of what he does. He doesn't abandon a lot of companions, though. In Old Who, maybe he did. I know Sarah Jane he did, but I feel like not a lot of people he left abandoned.
Then the BBC says, we've come to bargain, let's barf.
Come to bargain, let's barf it again.
Again, you're just a dangerous threat to your friends.
That's wild. Okay. Hold on.
Then the BBC says, we've come to bargain, let's barf it again. We've come to bargain, of course, a reference to Dormammu. I've come to bargain. Let's barf it again. Like, let's spit out the same old story again. Which maybe could be a reference to, like, the Doctor does have a lot of similar, like, they've reused the Daleks a lot. They've reused Cybermen a lot. There's a lot of enemies that come back multiple times throughout the show's history. And maybe it's a reference to that, but I feel like a lot of their stories aren't similar enough outside of that, but also doubling up BBC, which is, if you just know that for its internet slang, that's the name of like the big company in the UK that produces the show is the BBC. But also BBC is big black cock, so let's barf it again. He's literally saying you're going to gag on a dick. I think. Maybe I'm stretching. Maybe I'm reaching here. That's crazy. We've come to bargain. Let's barf it again. You're just a dangerous threat to your friends. It's ironic your rapping is far from its head.
All right, that's pretty good. We've come to bargain. Let's barf it again.
You're just a
dangerous threat to your friends. It's true. Every time the Doctor gets associated with someone, there's a pretty good chance that person's going to end up dead or their memory wiped or something bad is going to happen to that person. They're going to be wiped from this universe at least. Which I agree with. That's one of the major themes of the show, and I really like that internal struggle that we get to see, and him just throwing that in the Doctor's face is great.
To your friends,
it's ironic your rapping is far from a 10. David Tennant was the 10th iteration of the Doctor.
Rapping is far from a 10. I commit time to do what I choose to. Time bends you like a deja vu.
That's sick.
Your rapping is far from a 10.
I can bend time to do what I choose to. That do what I choose to. I really like that. That's a solid flow. Time bends you like it's deja voodoo is a bar. Literally saying like I control time. Time controls you. It doesn't for me. That's sick.
You like it's deja voodoo. That screwdriver is stupid to use because no one has the drive to ever screw you.
What? That screwdriver is stupid to use because no one has the drive to ever screw you. Screwdriver, he uses a sonic screwdriver. That's like his weapon of choice. We talked about that earlier when he said he's dialing it in or whatever he mentioned. But I wouldn't say because no one has the drive to ever screw you, especially David Tennant, because David Tennant was like the sex appeal Doctor. That's what people, like a lot of the old fans of the show originally, when they came back, the ones who didn't like David Tennant's Doctor was because he was so romantically involved with so many people. Every time they brought a companion on, they brought like a young attractive female in, he was making out with them. It doesn't really make sense.
No one has the drive to ever screw you. Go hype on the beats, call me Sorcerer Supreme.
Go hype on the beats, call me Sorcerer Supreme. I light up the scene to 1,000 degrees.
You can actually check mine. Strangest thing out the best rhyme since Tech 9.
Damn, okay, I don't know why we're shouting out Tech 9 there. That's kind of crazy, but
light up the scene to 1,000 degrees.
To 1,000 degrees. Saying like I'm turning the heat up. Like I'm about to drop it hot. When it comes to degrees, you can actually check mine. The Doctor, even though he's called the Doctor, he doesn't. I don't think he has a doctorate. It's never really been brought up that he has a doctorate. He didn't graduate. He doesn't have a degree. But Doctor Strange is saying I'm not just called Doctor Strange because it's flashy and cool. I have a I have a doctorate. I am a medical doctor. You can check my degree.
Actually check mine. Strange is dishing out the best rhyme.
Strange is dishing out the best rhyme since Tech 9?
Since Tech 9. Your girl got stuck in a parallel world, and I'm sure that you miss her.
Okay. You best watch what you say next, sir. You best watch what you say next.
You got the best rhyme since Tech 9. Your girl got stuck in a parallel world,
and I'm sure that you miss her. Talking about Rose here. Rose was one of the greatest fictional characters of all freaking time.
But the truth is, Doctor, you killed Rose the moment you picked her.
Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, it's a bar, but I'm still pissed. Your girl got stuck in a parallel world.
I'm sure that you miss her.
And I'm sure that you miss her. But the truth is, Doctor, you killed Rose the moment you picked her. Rose was the companion I was just talking about. And this is referencing back earlier, which we talked about, which the fact that the Doctor has a history of every time he picks a new companion, he's essentially marking them for death because they don't tend to last long. The most we've had a companion in New Who, I think, is like 2.5 seasons. We've had a couple companions make it to. They don't tend to last long, and the longer they stay around, the more dangerous their future looks. But also doubling up as a bar for Rose, like a flower,
You killed Rose the moment you picked her. The moment you pick a flower, the flower is basically dead. There's no way to bring that flower back. There might be. I'm not a florist, okay? Or a ceilingist or whatever the fuck they call people who play with flowers. It's a legitimate profession, okay? I'm not shitting on the profession. I'm just saying.
Rose, the moment you picked her.
Speaking of parallel universes, I'm truly certain you hopped in a few and threw the boot like Chris Nolan muted through ours to come shoot your stupid movie.
What the hell is he talking about? Is there a Doctor Strange movie I don't know about? So I don't know what he's talking about. Like, this feels like an Interstellar reference because he's talking about Christopher Nolan and hopping parallel universes and like hopping through portals and shit, which kind of happened in Interstellar, which is a Christopher Nolan
hopped in
film.
a few and threw the boot like Chris Nolan muted through ours to come shoot your
Through ours to come shoot your stupid movie.
Allons-y, Benedict to me. I can't.
Allons-y, Benedict to me. Allons-y was David Tennant's doctor's like catchphrase. Every doctor has one. It means let's go in French, which is pretty cool. But he's saying Benedict is in Benedict Cumberbatch, but saying you've Benedict to me.
I'll say that's a shocker. But it is strange how you're a defender and yet Doom's a more heroic doctor.
When was this what? 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 I don't know what this is a reference to, but this is literally the craziest bar I've ever seen in my life. For one reason and one reason in particular, this is serving as a double after the fact this song was released. Because last year, Robert Downey Jr. got announced that he is coming back again to play Doctor Doom. So this is tying into the initial diss of this song, where he's comparing him to Tony Stark. He's saying you're a knockoff Tony Stark. And now he's saying, yet Doom's a more heroic doctor. But Doctor Doom wasn't announced until like 2 years after this video was released. So what the fuck is he talking about?
Muted through ours to come shoot your stupid movie. Allons-y, Benedict to me. I can't say that's a shocker. But it is strange how you're a defender.
How you're a defender, and yet Doom's a more heroic doctor. This has to be a comic book reference. But this is insane. Talking about being an Avenger, Earth's mightiest defenders.
Doom's a more heroic doctor.
Your show is as stiff as your angels accept.
Oh my God.
I can bear to watch. I'm terrible.
Your show is as stiff as your angels. Talking about the Weeping Angels. That I couldn't bear to watch. So the Weeping Angels he's saying they're stiff because the Weeping Angels' whole gimmick is they're statues. They're stone statues that they're quantum locked, meaning when you look at them, they don't exist. They turn into actual stone.
I couldn't bear to watch. I'm tearing off like a paradox.
I'm tearing off like a paradox, which is also wild because that's a Deadpool Wolverine reference because now they have Paradox as the big evil in that.
Your show is as stiff as your angels.
What is happening right now?
Bear to watch. I'm tearing off like a paradox.
I'm tearing off like a paradox, talking about how in Deadpool Wolverine, Paradox like tore off from the main group and decided to try to end universes on his own. That's wild. But also Paradox, something that shouldn't be able to exist, like the grandfather paradox. I can't go back in time and kill my own grandfather before he had kids, because then how would I ever be born to go back in time and kill my grandfather? I'm tearing off like a paradox. You can't square against... He brings back the Doc's reference. That's pretty cool.
Suck my pears, you knob. You travel.
Suck my pears, you knob is wild.
Off like a paradox. You can't square against most prepared in this paradox.
In this paradox
pears, you
minds.
knob. You travel through.
Suck my pears is also maybe a reference to when Peter Capaldi left the show. One of his last quotes was, "And never ever ever eat pears." There was more to it, but that was one of the lines he said.
Time, but now you should clock out. Disappear in that police box again and call that a cop out.
Well,
Okay. Well, there's more going on. I thought that was going to be it. The classic two verses apiece, but
now
hop in your time box. The TARDIS is disguised as a police box.
you should clock out. Disappear in that police
box again and call it a cop out, because he's saying, like, if you disappear in a police box, like, you're copped out.
A cop out.
well, I gave you a choice. You either get destroyed or you shut your holes. You're doomed either way, because
Jadoomed? Jadoom? The Jadoom were... There, it's a reference. It's a reference to a Doctor Who villain.
I flow so dope.
That talks like that. It's amazing. Yo, so fo, no, me, go, fo, go.
You either get destroyed or you shut your holes. You're doomed either way, because I flow so dope. When you're firmly gripping your mic with those hands, you're close to dropping it. From surgical precision to whiny, wibbly wobbly. Hey.
Damn. Whiny, why me is a bar.
Close close to dropping it. From surgical precision to whiny,
wibbly wobbly is a reference to wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, which is how he describes how time and space functions.
Colonies, met millions of species with different biologies, but not had a single thing bother me as much as that prickly shit around the rim of your lip, and honestly.
Making fun of Okay, Doctor Who's turn. Why are we making fun of Doctor Strange's mustache, who he obviously copied from me? That's bullshit.
Biologies, but not had a single thing bother me as much as that prickly shit around the rim of your lip, and honestly. Just ask River how I'll make a song bang. You
Jesus Christ. Okay. River Song is his wife? Kind of? Not even kind of, like it is, but it's very complicated with Doctor Who. However, saying, ask River how I make a song bang. Is that how he said it?
On the rim of your lip, and honestly. Just ask River how I'll make a song.
How I make a song bang. So it's River Song, but how I make a song bang, talking about how I like turn up the beat and how I make a song solid, but also saying like, ask River how I make a song bang. Like, ask Kim how I make a Kardashian bang. Figure it out.
Bang! You brought your brother back from the dead.
You brought your brother. This is definitely referencing comics, because I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
He didn't even say thanks. That Infinity Stone to get this over with.
You brought your brother back from the dead, and he didn't even say fangs? 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 I don't know what he said.
I'm not scared of Adam Sandler.
Does Adam Sandler... treading on some mighty thin ice here. Marvel Comics, Victor Strange was the younger brother of Doctor Strange, who was killed when a car struck him on the street. He was brought back to life, but became a vampire-like creature, calling himself Baron Blood. Wild, I didn't know that.
Remote from Click. All that hocus pocus, but no hope for Sis. That's Infinity Stone to get this over with. I'm not scared of Adam Sandler's remote from Click. All that
essentially how Doctor Strange uses his time stone is like Adam Sandler's remote.
Hocus pocus, but no hope for Sis.
Hocus Pocus, but no hope for Sis. Hocus Pocus was the witch movie. Oh, look, another glorious morning. Makes me sick. It's like my mom's favorite movie. No Hope for Sis. I think the whole point of that movie was a brother trying to save his sister. I haven't seen Hocus Pocus since probably 2002, and I think it came out in 2003, so...
That's a curse not even your cloak could lift.
I've not met a man akin to this bumbling
I've not met a man akin to this bumbling dummy. The first episode of New Who was the Doctor going against mannequins, plastic that had come to life.
dummy who was raised by evil space beings like...
Are you my dumb mummy?
Raised by evil space beings? I think he's talking about just the greater Time Lords as a whole, because the Time Lords are kind of assholes.
Mummy.
But yeah, one of the most famous Doctor Who villains that was a one-off villain was a little human kid that had his DNA be rewritten. Couldn't really form a ton of sentences, so the thing he'd walk around is looking for his mother and say, "Are you my mummy?"
Doesn't it
terrifying
break your hearts knowing Gallifrey is toast? I could save your whole race from extinction. But I won't!
What a dick. Knowing Gallifrey is toast.
Gallifrey is toast,
I could save your whole race from extinction.
Your whole...
Well, it's weird because, like, how is he so far ahead predicting shit that hasn't happened yet in the Marvel world, but in Doctor Who, like, the Doctor already saved his whole race from extinction back in 2013.
From extinction. But I won't! I assembled Avengers when everything crumbled. You rallied a generation under Tumblr.
Okay, now he's hitting with a flow finally.
But I won't! I assembled Avengers.
But I won't! I assembled Avengers when everything crumbled. You rallied a generation onto Tumblr.
Your hatred for guns is...
True. The Doctor Who Tumblr crowd is wild, honestly. Has made one thing for certain. Your hate for guns has made one thing for certain.
That's why you're firing no shots in your...
That's why you were firing no shots in your verses. The Doctor is famous for saying, like, I won't use guns. I won't use a weapon. He has a couple times throughout the show, but it's always to extenuate how desperate the situation is. But yeah, taking that bar and being like, yeah, you don't use guns, I could tell, because your verse, you had no shots in your verse.
Your verse, and the person you lure next will surely be spared of your meaningless trust.
The person you lure next will what?
Certain, that's why you're firing no shots in your verse, and the person you lure next...
The person you lure next will surely be spared of your meaningless trust.
Trust, when you become the second alien that...
Damn. Okay. So he's saying in the future that could have happened where you would have survived had you not encountered me. I just saved that person's life, the person you are going to encounter next, because I'm turning you to dust.
The person you lure next will surely be spared of your meaningless trust when you become the second alien that's bitten the dust. No one!
Jesus, I don't even know. What did I just listen to? I didn't hate it. I got to clear my search history now because people are going to think I'm trying to dress up as Doctor Strange and a little kid's. We're not going to talk about it. There was some bars here. There was definitely some bars here, and it was worth the watch. I do think it's so hard to do Doctor Who in this context. It really is. And I wasn't a big fan of the ERB, the Epic Rap Battles of History Doctor Who battle either. Just because it's so hard to kind of sum up. And I think it comes down to me. I think if I knew less about Doctor Who, I'd be walking away a lot happier with this. A lot of the bars and disses against Doctor Who, I didn't feel like were true. I like it better when you're insulting someone and those insults have sting behind them. The Rose line was a bar because it was like, yeah, that's the truth. When he was talking about how, like, you literally, every person you pick just dies. Like, you're killing people that are close to you. That's a bar because that means something. That has meaning behind it. Doctor Strange's flow was kind of whack. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if that was like an actor choice or a directorial choice of having him rap as he did, but I don't know how they could have given more without it just being a big nerd fest. I do think there was some solid bars. I think my favorite bar of this whole thing was it might be Alan Z. Benedictimi. I can't say that's a shocker, but it's strange how you're a defender and yet Doom's more of a doctor. A more heroic doctor, sorry. Just because of how ironically that would come even more hard as a bar in the future that they didn't even know when they wrote this. Pretty sick. But if you got more Freshy Kanal suggestions, put them in the comments below. Please let me know if y'all are liking the Freshy Kanal stuff. If you're not, also let me know that if you prefer other kinds of content. It doesn't just have to be all positive comment. I mean, you don't have to drag Freshy Kanal through the mud, right? You don't have to drag me through the mud. I'd appreciate it, right? I have feelings. And you would have feelings too if you hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, baby.